Pakistani army is again in the news, and this time again they are in the news for being the bad guys, which is not very surprising. A Baloch activist has accused the Pakistani army of kidnapping hundreds of young girls from the Swat Valley region. And there are also reports that they've kidnapped young girls from the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region. And these girls have been turned into sex slaves for jihadis. Now, this news, apart from the fact that it's extremely disturbing, seems to be a pattern. I mean, jihadis are supplied with jihadi brides or sex slaves wherever they are by the local governments, whether it's the ISIS or it's Pakistan or any other place. But we have here Korff with us, and he is going to tell us, he's done some background research on this, and he's going to tell us exactly what his experiences are of news reports in these fields and how true these news reports are also.
Thank you, Ajit. As you said correctly, this is a pattern with these jihadi groups. In fact, terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda, even the Taliban, and the Islamic State, formerly known as ISIS, they do advertise online for jihadi brides. So if you want to join them and you're a female and you just want to be a sex slave, they'll take you. You notice that in the news historically that they even kidnap women as they maraud the towns, and then they sell them to the jihadi fighters because they give them a share of the plunder, and the belief in their twisted doctrine is that an infidel woman, that is an unbeliever woman, is there for everyone to take. So they marry them off, they pass them off, they keep them locked up. This happened especially in Iraq with some of the minor religious tribes there, kidnapping the women, thousands of them, and luckily some of them have escaped. Now, what's disturbing about Pakistan doing this is it's especially disgusting, and it's a crime against humanity that can be prosecuted by the UN Security Council when a government does this. And then you have the issue, independent of this, of the Balochis wanting to break off from Pakistan anyway. Well, now they've got yet another reason to want to break away. So this is not how you stabilize your country. It doesn't matter who the country is. If you have a separatist ethnic group, and then now you're taking their women, you've just basically shot yourself in the foot, so to speak. So Pakistan, once again, which they continue to be, are their own worst enemy.
So this time we have an activist who's making this charge. But I have been through the internet, and I was surprised to read that in the Hunza Valley of Pakistan, where they say some of the most beautiful people actually live. These people are supposed to be the descendants of the Greeks when Alexander the Great had come to India.
Yes.
And these women, I believe, also have been converted into sex slaves by the Pakistani army. And I was reading that there's something like 20,000 or 10,000 prostitutes in the Hunza Valley alone.
I don't think anybody has any official numbers because a lot of these people are just missing. There was a very interesting photo that was published a couple months ago when one of the Iraqi towns was liberated. The field was covered with burqas that had been discarded by the women who were finally free to take them off without being beheaded. So we don't know how many women are being sex trafficked. The jihadis aren't going to report their number. Shame on the UN for not doing anything about this. I hope that this report gains momentum out there to raise awareness of it, because this cannot continue. It's a recipe for disaster in an already unstable region by a rogue nation. Pakistan is a failed nation by choice. Nobody's forces Pakistan to misbehave the way they do. They choose to, and it's got to stop.
Well, there's two things actually happening there. You know, in Kashmir, which is occupied by Pakistan, the area that is occupied, they had a law before Kashmir was taken over. That area was run over by the Pakistani army and whatever. That prostitution was legal in Kashmir. So they have taken advantage of this law to make women in that region prostitutes for the jihadis, for the army or whatever. And here in Balochistan, what they're doing, what the activists actually are reporting is that young girls are being kidnapped, picked up and being relocated. And they're being used as sex slaves in terror camps.
So it's a modern variation of what the Japanese did to the Chinese
Exactly, the comfort
in World
women.
War II, the so-called comfort women, yeah, even though there was no comfort, yeah.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you.